Nobbins,
Hello.
what's going to happen tomorrow? Manchester Derby, FA Cup final, biggest FA Cup final, in my opinion, in the history of the competition. Talk to me.
Right. So, I think what's going to happen is a prelude to what will happen in the Champions League final. And what I mean by that is, I think the scoreline is either going to be 3 or 4-0 to City, or 1-0 to Man United. The only way I can really see this game going down, especially with like Martial's out, for example, I believe from United. I think Martinez is still injured as well. So United aren't at full strength, whilst I believe City don't have any injuries right now. So what should happen is that City will dominate the ball, and City will pen in United in, and then United will try their best to, when City, give away the ball in midfield or whatever, they'll try to counter-attack on us and try to hit us on the break. So the question is, can City deal with that counter-attack? Because, for example, at Old Trafford in the first half, I don't think we did deal with it. I think that we were only in the game because Ederson saved us on a couple of times. I think Rashford probably should have scored once or twice based on those counter-attacks. So it should be. I fully expect City to dominate the ball. I expect United to look to counter-attack. And it's just a question mark of whether City can deal with United's counter-attacks. I'm assuming mainly through Rashford. I don't know exactly how the team's going to set up. And whether United's defence can deal with what is now a City team, obviously Premier League champions, full of confidence, and a very different City team to the one that went to Old Trafford, where Cancelo was still on the pitch, and now Pep seems to have finally found his best team. So what should happen is City should win, but anything can happen in football. Anything can happen in the FA Cup. Anything can happen in the FA Cup final. Anything can happen in the derby. So lots of asterisks there.
Bro, I get you're being humble, man. But if I'm a United fan tonight, I'm stressing, bro. Yeah, they've got no Martial. They're playing Rashford up top, right? They're gonna have to play Garnacho from the start because Anthony looks like he's not gonna be fit tomorrow. You've got Jadon Sancho who's better on the right, but up against Ake Kanji, I'm sorry, he's not doing anything on that big pitch. I think you're gonna boss them in midfield because when they beat you, you weren't playing the way you're playing now.
They weren't playing three in the back.
Quite right. Yeah, we had Cancelo.
You weren't playing like this, right? And I know obviously against Brighton you lost, and the game before that you drew, but obviously your players are pretty much on the beach. Pep has tinkered around. Like you've said, you've got your whole team available up against this United team that's on the ropes. The only thing that can help United tomorrow is Alex Ferguson walking out and hopefully saying something to these guys about passion and whatnot. But when it comes to on the pitch, I don't see United winning this game at all. At all. I think it's going to be at least three, maybe even 4 goals scored by City. I think it's going to be a battering.
It should be. It will definitely be a battering in terms of the play and the possession and passes, etc. But there's always going to be a question mark with United's pace through Rashford of if you can just thread that one ball through. If Walker makes one error and then you're in, and then they take the lead.
Is, though, Rashford up top hasn't got that technical ability like Martial. Martial is injury prone, but he can allow the ball to stick to him and actually link up with other players. And one thing about Martial and Sancho, they've got a little bit of chemistry going on there. Rashford, for me, down the middle isn't great. He's not great down the middle. They're going to be depending on a lot of counters tomorrow. And I think you're going to keep a lot of the ball. Pep's going to say, look, basically what he did against Madrid, because Madrid are quite similar. They want to counter you, right? They'll let you have the ball and just counter you. Pep made sure that did not happen. If you watch that first half again, you squeezed Madrid in. You completely squeezed them in on that big pitch at Etihad. It's going to be the same thing again at Wembley, in my opinion. I don't see how United get anything out of this game.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead. I
was going to say, we're much more well-equipped to play on the counter than Madrid ever was. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work because the thing that I just have to accept right now, that this City team we're playing tomorrow is not the same City team that we beat at Old Trafford. They don't set up the same. That defense does not set up the same. Now, the thing is right now, yes, we are a better counter-attacking team. We're a better transition team than Madrid. So, don't really use that as an example because they're not used to playing under so much pressure like that in La Liga, except for like maybe when they play Barcelona. Other than that, they're not a counter-attacking team. We're more equipped for that. What Ten Hag was being criticized for all season, which is not playing the Ten Hag ball in most games, actually benefits him tomorrow. Because let's say Ten Hag did play Ten Hag ball all season and he kept the ball. Tomorrow you don't keep the ball versus City. So if you don't have a plan B, you're finished. So we do have a way to play against the City team. I just think the issue is we're down to our knees with our options. Now, Anthony, they said that the chances of him playing tomorrow is very unlikely. People don't. Tomorrow, people will understand. You can call him a fidget spinner and all that stuff. It's very nice and it's very funny, but you'll understand his defensive work rate tomorrow when you see Sancho on the right just being like passed around like it's gonna look crazy tomorrow, because at least what this guy does, he gives you so much defensive work on the right hand side with Bisaka and whatnot. Now the thing is that I think, okay, now it's different because I didn't want Garnacho to start. Garnacho has to start tomorrow, so the one thing that is going to give Pep something to think about, that now you don't just have to contain Rashford, you have to contain Garnacho, because Rashford will play down the middle. City do have to play a little bit of a deeper line, their defense, just not to give them that extra 10 yards to run in behind and whatnot. But now you also have Garnacho to do that. And I don't know if playing against two players that like to run in behind and have that pace while having Bruno in that midfield is going to really like help. That's the only like hope that I see in that team, because with no Martial, you don't link up the play up top. You don't win those long balls. Like, you're not going to get that anymore. And as I said, no Anthony. Anthony's better equipped to play on the transition. Even though he's not a transition player, he's better equipped to play on the transition than Sancho. Sancho just predominantly needs the ball. So these are the only things that I'm looking at. But realistically, I'm less confident about this game more than when I already was after I saw these two injuries.
Stuffy, long story short, you're saying that the only way Man United win if Man City give them the game by making mistakes, like playing high
100%.
line. That's it. So that's what we're.
Is there anyone here logical enough
We're
to say
saying
that
the only way Man United win is if Man City make mistakes and Pep Guardiola overthink it and all this stuff. That's
well, anyone with a brain would tell you that, because I can't sit here and tell you there's one thing that we can dominate City at tomorrow. If I tell you that, then I would be deluded, or I just don't understand what I'm talking about. We can't. There's not an area in the pitch where we dominate them in. The only saving grace is just that. And I just explained to you why that left wing tomorrow is essential. But yet again, Garnacho is not really ready to play 90 minutes, especially against a team like City. So the chances are very slim. I'm still back my team, don't get me wrong, but it's not looking very good.
I think tomorrow is going to depend. I think tomorrow's Jadon Sancho is going to play a big role, because I think the eyes are going to be on Bruno, the eyes are going to be on Garnacho. Kyle Walker can eat him alive, in my opinion, the kid. And I think Marcus Rashford is going to be marked. I think Jadon Sancho on the transition, if he supports Rashford very well, if he makes the right decisions, which is very unlikely, to be honest, but if he makes the right decisions and if he had a good game against Nathan Ake, I think I will give Sancho a little bit of a chance, even though Nathan Ake has been absolutely fantastic. But Man United on the transition tomorrow from Jadon Sancho's side, I think they might have a chance. From that side, I think Jadon Sancho, if he has a good game, Man United will have a chance, because there is one thing that people don't keeps forgetting, that one-on-one defensively, Wan-Bissaka can stop Jack Grealish. I think Luke Shaw can stop on that other side Bernardo Silva, who had a good game, second game against Real Madrid. But remember, the first game, he didn't have a good game at all, Bernardo Silva on that side. He was dominated by Camavinga. So Luke Shaw can do a job. Casemiro, if he has a good game in the middle, I think you have a chance of closing that middle like you did in the second game when you won 2-1, even though that was a questionable goal. But you created a couple of chances before that as well. I think I would logically say that Man City should win the game, but to completely say that Man United has no chance is, I think you're just really just being too negative, in my opinion. Like, Man United will have a chance.
I just don't see it. I don't see it, Mo. I don't see it. Like Staffy said, every area on that pitch, City are better than them. Every single area. And it's not like United have the strongest team possible available. They don't. They have Martial out. They have Anthony out. Like Staffy just said, Sancho offers you completely defensively. Anthony offers you a lot more than what Sancho offers you. So I do think Sancho's good on the right, but I just don't think that will be enough. If you're depending on Sancho to be the game changer tomorrow, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, bro. So I just don't. I don't see how Man United win this game.
Can I ask a
at all.
question, Don, and anyone who thinks in the comments as well? Because we've got a poll running. 72% think City will win. I'm seeing a lot of comments saying no chance, no chance. How much praise do Man United get tomorrow if they're lifting it? How much praise, Don, are you going to give them as a football fan if Man United pull this near impossible task off of lifting the FA Cup trophy?
Listen, I'm gonna go watch Spider-Man tomorrow, Terry. Right? At cinema. I'll be on the stream beforehand, giving you guys all the props that you need before I go to the cinema. Right? Because that's gonna be an amazing achievement if you manage to beat this City team, stop them from getting that treble. Right? Because I'm not giving you a chance. I'm not giving you a chance at all. So I'll be here tomorrow if you guys beat City. Don't worry about that.
I'm asking for the reason because everyone's entitled to their opinion. It doesn't trigger me. What I will find hilarious is everyone will say no chance, no chance. If we were to miraculously pull it off, there'd be a lot of people saying, yeah, but you should after what you've spent. That will be a big line. Yeah, but you spent this, but you did this, but you did that. And this is what I mean when people then you go, well, we overachieved then, right? Well, no, you expected to. No, people are doing right now what they did at the beginning of the season. They're giving us what they truly think. If we achieve tomorrow, it will be, yes, but you've spent this, your net spend in 8 years. Look what you've done this time, your history, your heritage. Suddenly, all of that's gone out the window. And that's what I'm liking to see. I like seeing that from people. Is that right now we're seeing people's genuine beliefs about what is going to happen. And for me, look, I don't think there's anything you guys have said that isn't true. I even think, Mo, that is quite negative. I just think the way I haven't listened to a pundit talk and give United a chance yet. Now, I will admit I haven't listened to all of them. But I think Man United have got a puncher's chance. I agree with you, Mo.
Terry, we've beaten them with worse teams, so let's not act like it's not doable.
This is the point I'm making. We have got a puncher's chance. City are the favourites. All the pressure is on City. They're chasing a treble. They just keep it in the world of the football terrace. 72% of people believe they're going to win. That is I don't think there's been a general election in this country in my lifetime that's been won by anywhere near that amount. That is beyond a landslide of opinion. Like, legitimately, when people win elections and stuff, they win it by a handful of percent normally, right? One's normally like mid-low 40s, the other one's mid-low 50s. It doesn't, mid-high 40s, mid-low 50s to win it. There's a chance there. And I'm not going to sit and break it down. I know what we need to do. I don't care about the formation. Listen, I think we should actually put Bruno on the right as an inverted winger.
No, please.
No, we should, and we should pack the midfield so that we can nullify the midfield. And then what you have is substitutes are really important. Having Garnacho from the bench maybe at 70 minutes, if we're still in this game, running. I know Kyle Walker's brilliant, but running against slightly tired legs, I think is a better option than the beginning. Bruno on the right this season's actually done quite well. It's the left-hand side where the team performed poorly. But it's about packing that midfield. And by the way, when we're not in possession, he's going to be back in that midfield as well. But you're going to get more work rate from him than you are from a Garnacho defensively, and he's more experienced. But what we have to do is nullify them as best we can defensively. We have to not concede an early goal. So we have to get through that opening 15 to 20 minutes. Because even as relentless as City are, they can't do that for 90 minutes. But they can if you concede early because there'll be more spaces because we'll open up. We get through the opening 20 minutes without scoring. We can nullify a lot of their attack, which we've done before this season and in previous ones. Then we have a puncher's chance. We can't outplay them. We can't pass the ball through them for 90 minutes. They are so good. But I won't live in a world where there is no chance. Now, if we don't win, people go, see, no chance. That isn't what no chance means. No chance means there is not a catch chance in hell of us winning. We have beaten this City team this year. And yes, people say they've changed. They beat us 6-3. We've changed since then as well. So two can play at that game. City are the favourites, but I am predicting a 2-1 Man United win. I am backing my team to win it. I'm putting out that positive energy out there. And the biggest reason is that because everybody is writing us off and laughing at us. And we may end up being wrong. And if I'm wrong, all that's happened is the obvious has happened. The 72% has happened. But whenever in football, France playing Switzerland at the Euros, Chelsea versus Arsenal in 2017 FA Cup final. Just to name two examples, and there's umpteen others. No chance, they've won. It's easy. The football gods turn up. And that's why, by the way, City fans are smart. They all know not to go no chance United because they know they don't want to tempt fate. Once upon a time, there was no chance Wigan were winning the FA Cup final. Now, look, this is a better City team, but Man United are exponentially better than a relegation team as well, right? So I don't believe in no chance. It's a final. It's a derby. And I will say this. It's going to be the most historic final in the history of this competition. It either stops. It's a derby. It can stop a treble. You've got the two biggest teams in the country right now, in my view, monetary-wise, I'm talking here, that are building, that are growing. One's already at the top. Honestly, it's the biggest final I've ever... I actually feel more nervous about this than the 99 final, and we were going for a goddamn treble, but that's going to be better than Newcastle. But
I think it's a lazy take. I think
happens.
anybody that says Man United don't have any chance and they don't want to like talk about it, it's just a lazy take. Yeah, it's easy. Okay, Man City are the better team. Logically, we know that. But look, I really echo what Nobin said. He said, theoretically, on paper, we are a better team, but it's a derby. This is a final. Man United are still a team with good players. Some of them are better in their positions. Like Wan-Bissaka, people said he's better, the best 1-1 defender. They said David De Gea is the best shot stopper in the league. People said that. He's not going to be asked to play from the back tomorrow. He's going to be asked to stop the shots. This is what's going to be. They said Luke Shaw deserves to be team of the season on the left. You guys keep telling it. They said Varane is world-class Varane, Champions League Varane. So you have players. Man United have players. Ten Hag have players.
By the way, I will say this. City also can slap us up 3-4, 5-0. I'm not sitting here believing that's not a possibility. We concede early and our heads go on that big Wembley pitch. There's trouble. So I'm not denying that can happen. I just don't live in a world where there's no chance we win. I've seen too many shocks in the 37 years I've been watching football to go into this game. Yes, I'm nervous, but to go into it and think that's it. We might as well not turn up tomorrow. The Man United fans might as well not go. None of you better tune in then. What's the point? That you know the result already. Barring being a sort of bit sadistic and watching Man United get battered, there's no point. And you guys are all tuning in your heart of hearts, away from the camera, when you're not tweeting and looking at banter. You're like, City will probably win. But you're tuning in because it's a football final when anything can happen. That is why we love this game. It's not like a Beyonce concert. You know it's going to be brilliant. It's not like a comedy show that you know with your favorite comedian, Kevin Hart. It's going to be funny. It's not like going to watch an Avengers movie. You know what's going to happen. Starts off and something bad happens. They look like they won't be able to save the day. And at the end, they save the day, right? Those things are great. But with football, the unknown is why we love it. And that's what I'm fighting on tomorrow.
The only thing that we know, just one thing, Don. The only thing that we know that is not going to happen tomorrow is Man United are not going to batter Man City. That's the only thing we know. It's never going to happen tomorrow. But anything else can happen.
Again, I get that notion. Anything can happen, right? United, like I said, they can go into tomorrow, passion. They want to stop that treble. So anything can happen, right? But I'm looking at it on the pitch tactically and the circumstances both teams are currently facing right now. The fact that United are missing players, the fact that Man City have a full team. Nobbins, I don't know if anyone's injured. Is there anyone injured right now in your team?
We're fully fit now, according to Pep.
Fully fit. We're talking about a team that's got an incentive to win a treble. We're talking about a team managed by one of the greatest manager, arguably, that we've seen. Looking at all of that, I just don't see how Man United win.